Hi, welcome back to the Crooked Pigs BBQ channel. As you've noticed in our previous videos, we've been focusing a little bit on Thanksgiving cooking outdoors. Today we're going to show you exactly how we cook a whole turkey for Thanksgiving outdoors. But there's a catch. We're not going to cook the whole turkey. Cooking the whole turkey is for the birds. We're going to break this turkey down. There's a few reasons we're going to do that. First of all, you can cook each piece until it's done precisely where you want it. Also, when you take the parts off the bird before and cook the parts separately, it leaves you with the carcass ahead of time that you can use to make stock and thereby Thanksgiving gravy. And if you look in our previous videos, we have a video specifically on making turkey stock, and this would be a perfect turkey scrap to use to make that turkey stock. You'll see in that video I used some turkey wings and some chicken legs that were left over from competition, but you can just use this stock, roast it on your smoker, and finish that recipe with the carcass after you've taken the parts off. And so the first thing we're gonna do to break this bird down, I'll let the cameraman come down to this here. I'm gonna pull the turkey timer out. We don't need that. We're gonna use a Thermapen to make sure it's done right. And I'm going to stick a piece of paper towel underneath. So let me just grab one. This piece of paper towel just makes sure that that bird doesn't slide around while you're trying to cook on it or cut with it. It's a little more secure that way. First thing we're gonna do is take the breasts off. So we're gonna come right down the middle here next to that breastbone. And we're gonna try to keep as much of that meat, that lean white meat on. Oh, somebody's calling me. All right, sorry about that, folks. I'm gonna come right down here. Next to that breastbone. As you can see, that's pretty easy to do there. We're gonna try to separate that from the carcass as best we can, leaving as much of that lean meat as we can on there. And I'm gonna take the knife next. We're gonna go between the leg and the breast, just gently, and try to pull that apart a little so that we don't gouge the meat at all. Okay, there we go. And you can see that's separated there. So now we're gonna press down just a little and pull that away. Okay, try to keep as much of that skin attached as we can. Now I'm gonna come behind all this breast meat. And I'm gonna continue to work it through here. I'll turn it this way so you can see a little bit better. And I'll keep working it through. We'll go through that skin a little there. And now we'll come back to the other side here. Come in behind that wing. Come underneath it. And we'll have a turkey breast one side removed. Next, we're gonna try to take this wing off. So I'll come in behind it there. And we're gonna try to dislocate that joint just a little bit and come in between that joint with our knife. And that's an easy removal, just like that, okay? Got one more wing to do. Do the same thing here. Come in there a little and dislocate that joint as best we can. Depending on the size of your bird, you might really have to put some elbow grease into this. Come right in between that joint. You can see it right there in that shot. And that wing is off. Okay, we'll come back over and we'll grab the other breast off. Right down the side of that breastbone. And now we'll cut, just gently score that skin between the breast and the leg there. All right. And we'll come back in here and work that knife through. Got to be pretty careful because this bird likes to move around on the board a little, even with that paper towel. All right. And we're just trying to keep as much of that lean meat on that breast as we can. Okay, so now we've got two breasts removed, two wings removed. We're down to the legs. Now, you can remove the legs and thighs if you'd like. It's a little harder to break that thigh bone loose. We're gonna go ahead and try to do that. Come right back here next to the backbone there. And you can see we dislocated that joint there from the backbone. And we're gonna just cut that right off. Okay. Now we have a turkey leg quarter ready to rock. We've just got one more to do. Score that skin a little. Come back in here. Again, dislocate that joint from the backbone. Take your knife right in between that joint. And pull it off just like that. Okay, now, this is the carcass we can use straight for the turkey stock. I've still got the giblets in here. We can take those out, take them out of the bag and use them. Make sure to take that plastic retaining clip off. And this can go right in your roasting pan with your aromatics and your herbs, and it's ready to go for turkey stock. But we'll put that aside, and we'll show you what we're gonna do with all these turkey parts that we've taken off. All right, we're back here. We've got our separated turkey into 3 pans. I've got the turkey hindquarters, I've got the wings, and I've got the breasts in 3 separate pans. The reason we've got them in 3 pans is because they're all gonna take different amount of times to cook, and so I like to be able to control it separately here. So if you've seen anyone cook competition chicken, this is gonna be a very similar recipe to that, albeit the seasonings will be a little different and the cook time's different. But the idea here is to get some smoke on the bird and then braise it in butter so that it stays nice and moist, so that the skin ends up being bite through, and so that it's just a nice presentation on your Thanksgiving table. So the first thing we're gonna do here is rub this down. We're gonna take an all-purpose seasoning, and today I'm using Heath Ryle's garlic butter seasoning. We're gonna turn these so that the skin side is down. I'm gonna hit these with a little bit of this garlic butter seasoning, just like that. Same with the wings. And the breasts. All right. Now we're gonna come back with our Cosmos Honey Chipotle Killer Bee. Gonna put a nice, it's a little bit, it's broken up in there a little bit. Just a nice thin coat again. All right. And finally the breasts. Okay, we're gonna roll them over. And the same thing here. Nice light coat of the garlic butter seasoning. Followed by a nice light coat of the Chipotle Killer Bee. It's okay if you got a little bit of seasoning in the bottom, that'll help season that butter. We're gonna braise these turkey parts in. Okay, now to this, we're gonna add a little bit of our Thanksgiving herbs, a couple pieces of sage in each one, and they can just sit down in the butter. And the same with the thyme. Sprig of thyme in that one, sprig of thyme in that one, and our last one, sprig of thyme. Now we're going to put some butter in. I've got a couple sticks of butter here. I'm just gonna put these pieces around the edges, just like that. Couple there. I like to put a little more butter in my breast pan than the others, because it tends to be the drier of the meats. Okay, so those are ready to go on the grill right now. If you'd like, you could let them sit for 15 more minutes and then take them out to the grill once that rub is tacked up. But they're ready to rock. We can take these straight out to the pellet smoker, put these on. We're going to leave them on smoke, maybe about 250 degrees for about 30 minutes. Maybe 45 minutes. We're gonna watch the color, we're gonna watch to make sure that they're getting nice and set in their shape, and then it'll be time to cover those. So we'll get the smoker fired up and we'll be right back when we put these on the smoker. All right, we've got our birds in the pan on the smoker, preheated to 275. I'm just gonna put them in here, we're gonna close the lid. I'm gonna come back and check in about a half hour, 45 minutes. If I think it needs a little more color, we're gonna keep them going to an hour, check then. And you can put as much or as little color on them as you'd like. If you're satisfied with the color and satisfied with the smoke flavor, then go ahead and cover the bird. And we'll show you how we do that process when we get there. Now, just for reference purposes, we're using a pecan blend pellet on this, but you could use about anything for turkey. The fruit flavors work really well here. An apple blend, cherry, peach, any of the fruit flavors work really well with a Thanksgiving turkey. But we're using a pecan blend today, and that should give us just the perfect Thanksgiving flavor we're looking for. So we're gonna go ahead and close the lid here, and we'll be back in about 45 minutes and let you know how it looks. All right, we're back. We're finishing our Thanksgiving turkey that we cook in separate pieces. We have smoked the turkey for about an hour, then we covered it in foil. We did baste the top of the skin with the melted butter reserved in the bottom of the pan, then we covered. We covered for about another hour, hour and 15 minutes, and now the breast temp's at 165, and so we've pulled it out of the smoker, and I'll show you down here on the board how that's gonna look. Here's one breast, and here's the other. Now I'm gonna clean these up just a little so they look really nice on our Thanksgiving platter. These have rested for about 15 minutes, so they're a little easier to handle and to keep some of that moisture in the meat. So I'm gonna trim up just some of these pieces that are kind of hanging off the edges a little here, and we'll put those back in our pan. Just make them nice and uniform. Thanksgiving only comes once a year. All right. Now we're gonna cut these. Give each guest a piece of skin with their slice of turkey. Oh, that one came apart a little. And nice and gently. We're cutting these about a ½ inch thick. And you can use an electric knife here if you choose. I often do on Thanksgiving. All right, we're gonna slice right through all that. Try to keep your slices nice and uniform. And all right, we have one of our breasts sliced. Okay, now we'll come to the other one. And how thick you want to slice this is up to you. If you like thicker slices, that's fine. If you like thinner slices, you're welcome to do that as well. All right, and those breasts are sliced and ready to go on our platter. Now I'm going to show you how we do the platter. All right, and so as important as the meat is to me on Thanksgiving, I also like the presentation to look great. When I've got guests coming over, all the families around, I really like to show off just exactly how beautiful of a Thanksgiving Day table we can put together so everybody can really give thanks for everything they have all year and really step back and appreciate the hard work and effort that went into that Thanksgiving meal. So what I like to do is get a big platter for my turkey, and then I like to garnish it. And I'll do that with some kale, and I like to put a tail on my turkey with a pineapple. And let's look down at the board and see how that looks. So what I'll do is I'll take a pineapple and I'll slice it on a bias so that the tail, or the top of the pineapple will sit up like a turkey tail. Now I've already placed our legs that came out of the smoker and our wings on here, and to this I'm going to add our turkey breasts. So I will grab the previously sliced breast on each side and place it right here in the middle on top of those wings. And we'll grab the next one as well, and we'll slide it in here. Now, you may have to kind of move around a couple of those slices to get them just how you want them. And maybe move with some of that kale just to prop up the turkey breast so it all lays just how you want it. All right, and move that wing out just a hair. Okay, now that's sitting about how I'd like it. So I'll tuck a little of the kale in on the side and pick up a couple of the little pieces I've dropped on top. All right, Now, this bird is ready to hit your Thanksgiving Day table, and tell me, that doesn't look more beautiful than any Thanksgiving Day bird you've ever seen. And it's so easy. You just cut the turkey pieces into their separate parts prior to cooking. So you're cooking the leg quarters, the wings, and the breasts all separately. And then it's so easy to slice that breast and plate it here on the table just like this. All your friends and family are going to be stunned by how beautiful that looks on your Thanksgiving Day table, and it's easy to eat to boot. Thanks for watching the Crooked Pigs YouTube channel. Please remember, if you enjoyed this video, like the video. Comment down in the comment section. Tell us why you liked it and how this worked out on your Thanksgiving Day table. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel and let us know what you'd like to see going forward. Thank you.